Hello everybody, this is Coach Roser here. So in this video we will go ahead and discuss the different types of midpoint problems that you will encounter. Ideally they'll come out to you being regular or just the regular 2 points that you're given and then the missing endpoint. Now you have to have a full understanding of how the midpoint formula works. So ideally for midpoint formula, whatever point that you find, so let's say we have A and then we have C here. It's always going to be located at the very center, middle, or right when you break both lines in half. So like 0 to 100. If we go ahead and break this line in half, the halfway point would be considered at 50. Now, if you notice, there's X and Y involved for these types of problems. So that means that necessarily it will give you a point to reference, but I'm just using midpoint as a way to for you to understand that this is where it's breaking, kind of like a seesaw, where it's even and even. Now, when you're looking for a midpoint problem, they'll usually be in a coordinate plane, so maybe like where you have them like this, and then you got to be able to plot it and know where it needs to be pointed. So you'll probably have one of those to work with. Unfortunately, I don't have one with me right now. So the first one is going to be the regular one that you have to work with. So when you work this problem out, what you want to go ahead and use is that you want to be able to use the points that you're given. So remember, xy, 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 xy is the pattern that you may see your points. So you have xy for your first point, x1 and y1, and then you have x2 and y2. Now I'll read it from left to right. So first point is going to be 4, 10, and then my second point is going to be -2, -8. And so when you plug this into your formula, so x1 plus x2 divided by 2. And then you have y1 plus y2 divided by 2. When you plug them in, then you can go ahead and see which ones fit. Because your 4, which is your x, and then your -2, which is your other x, as you plug them in, so 4 plus a -2 divided by 2. So I usually solve one side first. So 4 plus a -2 gives you a 2. Divided by 2 gives you 1. So we're almost there. So I already finished my first half. And then the second half, I have this one, I have my y's. So I'm going to, let's use a different color. Let's go green. So actually use blue. Okay, so now we're going to go with 10 plus a -8 divided by 2. So when you go ahead and divide this, so 10 plus a -8, so it's pretty much you're taking away 8 from the 10. So it'd be 10 minus 8, which gives you 2, divided by 2. Oh, it just happened to go ahead and be 1 again. So there you go. So this is your midpoint. Now, if you want a visual representation of this, one way to consider it is that you can always draw the picture for yourself. So, and I just keep it straight just so I can understand where it's a little bit easier to read. So 4, 10, and that was my A. And my C, it happened to go ahead and be -2, 8. So -2, -8. And then your B can go ahead and be the 1, 1. And then this is the part that was missing. Okay? All right, so just giving you a visual representation of what's going on. Okay? Because they gave you this and they gave you that, and we're asked to look for what's in the middle. Okay? And this is for the regular one. Okay? Now the next one over here, it has a missing endpoint. So I'm given A and B. Now the visual representation of this is going to look different now in comparison to the one that we have down here. So let's draw this one out then. Let's use a different color. Let's go with that one. Okay. So as I draw this one, as I draw this, I have A, B. Oh, actually no. It won't go down there no more. It'll be C, and then the B's here. So my A happened to be 2, 8. My B is going to be 6, 15. And then now they gave you these two parts, this one and that one, and then this one's missing. So this is ideally what we're looking for. Now there's two ways you can solve it. There's the formula way, and then you have the, I'll call it like, it's like a hops. Okay. So the formula way, you have x1 plus x2 divided by 2. And then y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay. So you can go ahead and place it into a, you can place it into a formula. Now they give you the midpoint already, which was that one right here, which is, this is the midpoint. Okay. And ideally that's how some of the problems will be. So when you're given this, you have to be able to use that midpoints, and you have to match up with what you're given. I'm given 2 and 6 in this case. So I'm going to go and place 2 plus x2 divided by 2, and that's going to be equal to, this will be equal to 6 comma 15. So now I'm focusing on this right here, this and this matchup. So this will be 6. So you can just simply solve for it, because you'll have two equations here. So the other one, if you're wondering, I'm going to match it up with this and that one. And I know it's going to be my y's involved. So when I plug it in, I'll have y1 is going to be 8 plus y2 divided by 2. And that equals to 15. So these are the two equations you need to solve. Okay? And then it gives you the missing endpoint at the end. Now, let's go and solve it. So you can multiply by 2 on both sides. So you have 2x, So you have 2 plus x equals 12, minus 2, minus 2. X equals 10. Okay, here goes 10. Other one, times 2, times 2. 8 plus y equals to 30, minus 8, minus 8. Y is equal to 22. So there you go. So this is 22. So this is your midpoint. Okay. Now, when I mentioned the hops, this is the way that usually, if we're trying to figure this out, and we know this is 6 comma 15, let's understand. Let's go back to the original problem that we had over here. So if I know from 0 to 50 is 50, how far is it from 50 to 100? Another 50, right? So if I'm going here, let's go ahead and jump. So we're going from 2 to 6, and then let's jump again. And so when you jump, you're going plus 4, and this is going to be what? 10. Now let's go ahead. So now you find your x value, which was the same one that was down here. Which is the same one that was down here. Other one, let's jump. 8 to 15 is plus 7. So I'm looking at the blue. Plus 7. So we jumped. Jump again. So plus 7 gives you 23. So there you go. So now your midpoint, not your midpoint, your endpoint is located where? 10 comma 23. And it's the same one. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is the same as what we had down here. Now, it wasn't the midpoint that we're looking for. That's my fault. It was the endpoint. So these are two ways you can solve these. So make sure you go ahead and show all your work, and make sure that you are aware that these are the problems that you will face. Okay? All right, tune into the next video.